In the ever-evolving world of modern warfare, one weapon has earned a reputation as both a tank killer and a game-changer for infantry on the battlefield: the FGM-148 Javelin. This man-portable fire-and-forget missile system has been in service for nearly 3 decades, yet it continues to evolve, proving that it's not just a weapon of the past, but one that will help define the future of ground combat. The Javelin's story begins in the early 1980s, when the U.S. Army recognized that its then-standard M47 Dragon anti-tank missile was no longer keeping pace with advances in Soviet armor technology. A new program was born, the Advanced Anti-Tank Weapons System Medium, or AAWSM. By 1988, after years of design competition, a joint team from Texas Instruments and Martin Marietta won the contract. Their goal? Build a missile system that was light enough for infantry to carry, smart enough to guide itself to the target, and lethal enough to defeat even the most heavily armored tanks. Development moved quickly. In 1991, the first flight tests proved the concept worked. By 1994, low-rate production began, and by 1996, the Javelin was being fielded to frontline units. It was revolutionary, combining thermal imaging, autonomous guidance, and a devastating tandem charge warhead in a shoulder-fired package. The magic of the Javelin lies in its fire-and-forget design. Once the operator locks onto a target using the command launch unit, better known as the CLU, the missile takes over. There's no need for the gunner to stay exposed and guided in. Instead, they can take cover, relocate, or prepare for their next shot. The Javelin offers 2 attack modes. The first, called Top Attack, sends the missile arcing high before it dives down onto the thinner armor on the tops of tanks and armored vehicles. The second is Direct Attack, used against bunkers, buildings, or even helicopters. Early models had a range of about 2 kilometers, but improvements have pushed that distance to around 2.5 kilometers today. The warhead itself is a tandem high-explosive anti-tank charge, designed to blast through reactive armor and then penetrate up to 760 millimeters of rolled, homogeneous armor, more than enough to take out the most formidable tanks in the world. The Javelin's combat debut came in the early 2000s, during the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. In those conflicts, it proved to be far more than just a tank killer. U.S. forces used it to destroy enemy bunkers, take out machine gun nests, and eliminate sniper positions. In urban combat, its pinpoint accuracy and powerful warhead allowed soldiers to neutralize threats with minimal collateral damage. The weapon's reputation only grew during the war in Ukraine. Supplied by the United States and its allies, Javelins became a symbol of resistance, so much so that Ukrainian troops began calling it Saint Javelin. Video after video showed Russian armored vehicles destroyed in seconds, reinforcing the missile's fearsome reputation and proving its value against modern armored threats. Success on the battlefield has driven enormous demand. In 2023, the U.S. Army awarded the largest Javelin contract in history, worth $1.3 billion, to significantly ramp up production. Output is set to climb from about 2,400 missiles a year to nearly 4,000 by 2026. And it's not just the U.S. military relying on it. NATO allies and partners across the globe have adopted the Javelin. Countries like Estonia, Australia, France, Poland, and Ukraine have all incorporated it into their defense strategies. Even nations replacing older Soviet-era systems such as Bulgaria are turning to the Javelin to modernize their arsenals. The Javelin of the future is already taking shape. Engineers are developing the lightweight CLU, a smaller, lighter targeting unit with upgraded optics and improved battery life. Alongside it is the new G-model missile, featuring enhanced guidance electronics, a more reliable seeker, and an improved launch tube. These upgrades aren't just incremental. They're designed to keep the Javelin ahead of emerging threats well into the middle of the century. Current plans have the system in U.S. service until at least 2050. Given its adaptability and track record, there's little doubt it will remain a critical tool for infantry forces worldwide. From its birth in the laboratories of the 1980s to its dominance on the battlefields of the 21st century, the Javelin missile system has earned its place in military history. It's a weapon that blends cutting-edge technology with practical battlefield utility. a system that gives a single soldier the power to defeat the most dangerous armored threats. And with modernization efforts already underway, the Javelin is poised to remain a lethal, reliable, and highly sought-after weapon for decades to come. The FGM-148 Javelin isn't just a missile, it's a statement. In the hands of determined soldiers, no armored target is beyond reach.